What's up? This is BoxingWave. Now this video here is in response to Zone6 Boxing. Zone6 Boxing. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel, okay? He made two excellent videos, okay? Excellent videos. One was a top 10 welterweight video where he gave his perspective on who is the top 10 at welterweight, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you, if I had to do a top 10 without listening to that video, if I did my own top 10, I probably wouldn't have came up with the same top 10 that he came up with, okay? But he used a lot of stats and statistics, and after you listen to the video, you kind of wonder, like, you know what? I can't disagree with anyone there. Everyone that he's had ranked there, in there, you know, whoever was number 9, the guy that was at number 8, he gave a respectful, statistical opinion on why that boxer was rated over the one behind him. You know, some surprises in there. You'll be surprised who made that top 10 and who didn't make that top 10. But there's not one, you know, whether or not you flip-flop it, whatever you come up with, it should be in the same ballpark of what he stated, in my opinion, okay? It's all perspective at the end of the day, but he brought the stats into the mix. He did his homework. He took the time to bring stats into this video, and this is why I thought it was an excellent video, in my opinion, okay? Following up with that, he made a video called Boxing Perspective, where he spoke on a number of things, random things in boxing. He spoke on whether the weight in the gloves played a role in the advantage of fighters during glove selection, glove size selection. Then he spoke on fans with their emotions when it comes to ranking a fighter over another fighter. You know, if this fighter ducked this fighter A, who is a champion, duck fighter B, who is a rising star, duck fighter B overall better than fighter A. You know, like a lot of fans of boxing, you know, they get too emotionally attached, okay? We've all been a victim of it. And he was trying to give examples of why in this top 10 list that he did, okay, why he was, even though he likes specific fight, like he likes Keith Thurman, this is why, you know, even though Marcos Maidana ducked Keith Thurman, he cannot rank Keith Thurman over Marcos Maidana. He gave several examples. It's a really good video, okay? Also in this video, in the second video, he spoke on Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Okay, he did a very good comparison. Statistics, it's all statistics involved. It's all fact, where he broke down both of their careers. Okay, then he ended the video on what fights he would like to see, challenger fights, legacy fights, how these guys should finish out their careers, since they're towards the end, they're reaching the crossroads of their careers. How he would like to. You know, who he would like these two fighters, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, to fight to finish out their careers. All right, so I'm basically responding to that portion. In this video, I might make another video speaking more based on what he said. But for this video, I'm going to break down what are the legacy fights from Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather at this point in their careers, okay? So make sure you subscribe to Zone6. I'm going to leave the videos in the description for this video, okay? So check out both videos. Check out the top 10 one first, because then the second video makes a little bit more sense to me, in my opinion, all right? I think both of these videos kind of go hand in hand with each other, all right? All right, so Mayweather and Pacquiao. Let me start off by saying I think both fighters, okay, need to try to unify the titles at 147, without a doubt. You know, these guys, they want to finish their careers off, finish it off strong. They've been fighting at welterweight for a little while now. Finish it off by unifying the titles. We see Bernard Hopkins is trying to do the same thing with light heavy. I think these guys, they've been fighting at 147 for too long to not have tried to unify the titles, okay? Floyd Mayweather, mind you, this video here, I'm speaking hypothetically. We are living in a world where there is no Cold War. There is no beef between the promoters or the networks, okay? Any fight can happen, all right? The best is gonna fight the best. This video is based on that. It's not, don't leave comments saying, well, Manny Pacquiao is not gonna fight him because Manny Pacquiao is top rank. I don't wanna hear that in the comments. I'm gonna ignore your comment, okay? We're speaking hypothetically here. There is no Cold War, and you know, that's any fight. And whoever the current champions are, we are gonna speak on who's the current champion. We don't know if they're gonna lose their title this year, next year, okay? The only thing that we know is who are the current champions, okay? And we know Floyd has 3 fights left. We don't know how many fights Pacquiao has left. We know that he might be extending his contract with Top Rank for 5 more fights to 2016. We don't know, but this is, we're basing everything on who the title holders are now. So with that being said, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao unify the titles, okay? Floyd is fighting, Manny Pacquiao just won the WBO, I believe, against Tim Bradley, okay? Floyd is fighting Marcos Maidana. He is the WBA title holder. He beats if he beats Marcos Maidana, okay? Get a fight with Sean Porter. Manny Pacquiao, him too, fight Sean Porter. Okay, you have Sean Porter there, you have Maidana there, and then Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather need to fight each other. Okay, so Floyd has 3 fights. He has the time to do it. All right, whoever, you know, we're basing it on who's the current champions. All right, one last fight left. Floyd Mayweather could squeeze in there a 160 fighter, a middleweight fighter. He has already won titles at 154, so I'm just gonna skip junior middleweight, go to 160, okay? You got Peter Quillin up there, you got Sergio Martinez there, you got Golovkin there, okay? The fight that makes the most sense to me is Sergio Martinez. I think Golovkin would be a more challenging fight for Floyd Mayweather because Golovkin is a larger fighter. I think Golovkin would be a harder fight for Floyd than Sergio Martinez, but that's personal opinion, that's me. There's a lot of people that think Golovkin is unproven, okay? There's a lot of people that think Golovkin can't even beat Sergio Martinez, okay? Sergio Martinez is the true middleweight champion. You know, they haven't fought yet. So I think the Sergio Martinez fight makes more sense for Floyd in every single aspect, regardless of who I think is more challenging. Sergio Martinez has proven himself, okay, at that division. Sergio Martinez is a smaller fighter, a 154 fighter that is used to fighting guys at 160. Okay, he is the middleweight champion, but he's a much smaller fighter. I think the fights make sense. The fight should have happened already, but since it didn't, try to unify the titles at welterweight, fight Sergio Martinez at 160. Okay, that's the fight that makes more sense to me. Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Sergio Martinez already called out Pacquiao years ago. He's called out Floyd Mayweather as well. We know Sergio Martinez is fighting Miguel Cotto. I'm not speaking on who's going to win that fight here. Okay, I am just assuming Sergio Martinez is the current champion, so that's the fight. That's the guy they should fight. All right. I think it makes much sense. Manny Pacquiao already has 8 titles in 8 different divisions. Floyd Mayweather has 5. Try to unify the titles and try to get a title in another division. I think that would be great and going out their legacy. I don't think either one of them will be the best ever, but I'm just saying this is the way that I think this will be the most impressive way to go out, okay? Now, if I were to sit here and tell you a list of fighters that would be the most challenging for the two of them, that's a different list, okay? if I did that list, you know, I would throw in at welterweight, I would throw with Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman for Mayweather. Okay. You know, I think those two would be the most challenging at 147 for Floyd Mayweather. As far as Manny Pacquiao, I would probably say at 147, I would say Floyd Mayweather and Keith Thurman would be the most challenging for Manny Pacquiao. Okay, those two would be the most challenging fights for Manny Pacquiao. For Floyd, I think Shawn Porter, I think Keith Thurman. Okay, I think I put Shawn a little bit ahead of Floyd Mayweather because, Keith Thurman. That's just my opinion. You know, I think Shawn, that aggressive style mixed with the boxing ability would be a little bit harder for Floyd to deal with than Keith Thurman and his punching power, in my opinion. Okay, but it's close. It's definitely those two. As far as Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather and his boxing ability, we already know how good of a boxer Floyd is. And Keith Thurman, that punching power he has, his boxing ability is improving with every fight. I think those will be the two hardest fights for Manny Pacquiao at this time. Okay, that's just personal opinion. That has nothing to do with fact or statistics or anything like that. Okay, championships or nothing. All right, at 154 for Floyd Mayweather, I think Demetrius Andrade, Landy Lara will be the most toughest fights for him at 154. Okay, Manny Pacquiao, same thing with him. You know, I think those two guys would be the most challenging for him at 154. You know, a lot of people want to see the Lara fight. A lot of people overlook Demetrius Andrade. All right, but I think he would also be, a lot of people, I don't hear it enough, but I think he would also be a tough fight for Floyd Mayweather, also with Landy Lara. And at 160, I think the most challenging fight would be Golovkin for Floyd. Golovkin is a real true, like, he's like a 168 pounder fighting at 160. Okay, punching power. You know, I think he's the best at 168 in my opinion. I think that would be the toughest fight for Floyd Mayweather. Okay, Manny Pacquiao, the only realistic fight for him at 160 to me is Sergio Martinez, in my opinion. There's no Golovkin in there. I'm not even going to throw that in there because remember, Manny Pacquiao is naturally a much smaller fighter than Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao started at flyweight or junior flyweight or something. It just doesn't make sense. All right, so that's just my personal opinions on who are the toughest challengers against who, or what I would like to see as far as legacy fights. Like, you know, these guys are going to retire. These are who this is what they should do to make, you know, to look impressive as far as their resume where they're retired. Okay, so that's my thoughts. I might make another video speaking on what more things Zone6 brought up, but this is in response in this question where he asked, what do you think are legacy fights for these two, the most challenging legacy fights for the both of them? You know, whether or not you want to put Pacquiao in there or them fighting each other or not. I totally agree with him. Both of them need to fight each other. Both of them not fighting each other hurts their legacy, okay? Because they didn't fight their rival throughout their career. Most greats did, okay? So, all greats did. It means not say most. All of the greats fought their rival, okay? So, that's my thoughts on the fight. That's my thoughts on Zone6. Make sure you subscribe to him. I'm going to leave, once again, I'm going to leave everything in the description for this video, all right? So definitely check out his videos, both of those videos if you can. Peace.